Doctors basically said, yeah, you have psoriasis. Here's some steroid creams. Good luck. And that's all they did for me. Yeah, the creams didn't do anything but thin my skin out to where I would touch cardboard or anything and just start bleeding. But yeah, the pain got worse and worse and worse to the point where I couldn't sleep. 98% clear. And I was probably 75 to 80% covered. I said, Doc, I've been depressed and suicidal my entire life. After I quit sugar, so suicidal thoughts would just randomly be there every day. Like, time to go. Like, let's go do it. Time to go. All these things stop and they cease to exist.
Hey, well, we've got Stephen with us today. Stephen, go ahead and share a little bit about your background. I know you mentioned you had some psoriasis, so let me just go ahead and have you re-share that if you don't mind.
Yeah, so my psoriasis journey started about the age of 19 when I realized I had something going on in my skin. Doctors basically said, yeah, you have psoriasis. Here's some steroid creams. And so every time I came back with more spots, they would just give me a different cream or a stronger cream and that's all they did for me. And nothing with nutrition or diet or anything like that. But yeah, the creams didn't do anything but thin my skin out to where I would touch cardboard or anything and just start bleeding. So yeah, they were no help.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of topical steroids is that eventually you're doing it all the time and thin your skin out to the point where what you mentioned, start flaking and bleeding and stuff like that. And so what about like light therapy? That was maybe one of the has been one of the treatment options for psoriasis, maybe so-called therapy. Which
I did do UVB phototherapy. It helped a bit the first time I did it. The second time I did it, I got zero results whatsoever.
Okay, and you said psoriatic arthritis, so you had some joint pain as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's funny because the joint pain started when I was about 15 in my wrists and my lower back. And I had no idea what that was all about. I thought it was from riding mountain bikes or whatever, skateboarding and different extreme sports. But yeah, the pain got worse and worse to the point where I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything, really. Sleep was impossible. I would lay it like this with my legs kicking in my bed, trying to get some relief. And yeah, awful.
And so you've got psoriatic arthritis. How extensive was the psoriasis on you said it affected your joints, wrist and back, skin? Was it a lot of places, a lot of people are on their elbows and knees?
Right.
So on their face.
Yeah, it started on the elbows and knees to where it took over my entire legs, my entire thighs, my entire butt, my entire pubic region, basically from here on down, my entire arm. You can still see there's a couple tiny dots left. That's it. That's all that's left. And some scarring. But literally, this whole entire thing, and I sent you a bunch of pictures and you'll see the difference. I'm 98% clear. And I was probably 75 to 80% covered.
And that's probably a dermatologist, I would imagine. And the thought is, any thought like, why is this occurring to me? Did you ever get any insight on that from the dermatologist?
No, not at all. And I at one point I went back east to University of Pennsylvania Medical Center, apparently one of the best dermatologists in the game, one of the best rheumatologists, and I left there crushed, more depressed, more than I ever been at that point. They were awful. Yeah, the doctors just treated me like, I don't even know. I have no idea. It was just really bad experience every time. And then I had no health insurance, right? I went the last, 14, 15 years, 20 years without health insurance. I was just trying to figure this out on my own. Couldn't figure it out. Finally got health insurance a couple of years back. Started going to the doctor. They wanted to give me more topicals. They wanted to put me on Humira. They wanted to do this, that. I refused all the pills. I refused all the injections. And it just kept getting worse and worse. And it got to the point where I couldn't barely move. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't function as a normal human anymore. So my last doctor visit, October of 2022, they wanted to shoot me up with dual injections of some kind of immune suppressant drug. And I asked him about the side effects, and he said, yeah, well, the depression gets worse, suicidal possibility thoughts, blah, blah, blah. I said, Doc, I've been depressed and suicidal my entire life. I'm not going to let you kill me. I'd rather go home and do it myself. So I left that day to end my life. Yeah, I was done. I couldn't take it anymore.
The suffering at some point. Gosh, so how did you get over that? What did you end up, that was your, from a standpoint, you're much important. Obviously, this is an emotional event for you, but how did you get past that?
So I came home that day from the doctor, and I got on my phone, and I was, I don't know, looking to say goodbye to people or what I was doing. Somehow I ended up on Twitter and came across Mikaela Peterson's story about how she healed all these crazy things going on with her body and arthritis and this and that. And I just, something hit me and said, look, dude, just do this. Just do what she did. Like, you've tried everything else in the world. You ate raw vegetables for years. That didn't help you. You tried all the stuff. You don't want to do the drugs. Like, you don't want to die. I didn't want to die. I didn't want to end my life. I started weaning myself off of everything. Seed oils, vegetables, grains, gluten, sugar. And and it just started getting better. And the depression, after I quit sugar, depression and suicidal thoughts, which were there every day of my life, it seemed like I had a shield now. So suicidal thoughts would just randomly be there every day. Time to go. Let's go do it. Time to go. All these things stopped, and they cease to exist to this day. And my mental health is just 1,000% better.
So it's improved significantly. How long did it take you to start seeing a resolution in your skin symptoms?
The skin I'd say within a few months of getting rid of basically everything but meat and fruit and some dairy, the skin was getting better. And then when I cut out the fruit and the dairy, it was getting way better. And then last November at Thanksgiving, I screwed up really bad and decided to treat myself because I was getting better. And I was like, hey, let's treat myself. It's Thanksgiving. You're all alone, and let's have some apple pie and some pumpkin pie. And that put me on a month-long spin of downward spiral into everything I shouldn't have been doing again. I got really sick in December. My skin went haywire again. Pain came back. Depression came back. Everything just went full force. And it woke me up again and made me realize that January 1st, I'm going back to I'm going to do lion, and just that's it.
That's January 1st of this year. Is it 2024?
So I'm half a year into lion, and I am, like I said, 98% clear. My pain levels are probably 75% better. I sleep through the night. I have no depression. I have no suicidal thoughts. I'm a whole new person. This is what I prayed for 30 years. And the fact that I am what I am right now is mind-blowing on the daily.
Okay, so you started out, did more of a diet where you meat and a little bit of fruit, all the dairy products. I bumped you some. You gave those things up, the fruit and the dairy, that it really helped. And then you slipped and went back to being pumpkin pie or some holiday. You get sucked into the holidays, and then it's brought everything back because you fell off the wagon. And so now you've been since January. So now you're at 7 months or 6.5 months in. And is it fair to say this is the best you've been since 3 years or something like that?
Absolutely. I'm my fittest. I lost 70 pounds. I've recently gained back 10 pounds of muscle. I work out 4 or 5 times a week. I swim. Yeah, I feel amazing. I'll be 49 in September, and I feel the best I've felt since college. I can't believe it. Like, I'm also feel like my brain fog and that whole thing is just gone, and I'm clear, and I'm connected to the world. Like, I'm connected to the universe in a different way now. It's so much better.
I don't know if you, obviously with the frustration you felt from the general health care, so have you been back to the dermatologist and said, hey, look, I've resolved all this stuff, all the creams and crap that you put me on? Is that?
No, sir. I have not. I still don't have health insurance. That was the last time I actually had health insurance, back in 2022 as well. But I don't see any reason to go to a doctor right now. Honestly, no reason.
You know, I guess in a weird way, it's almost as if not having health insurance was a blessing, because if you're forced to figure it out yourself, and you go there and they just, here's the latest biologic, here's smother some more cortisone cream on your body, and it just doesn't do anything other than maybe mask the symptoms a little bit. And was that, do you have that kind of impression?
Absolutely. That when he said that I would have to be on these 2 shots basically every 2 weeks or whatever it was for the rest of my life, I said, that's it. I can't do this. It's not going to work for me. I will die on this stuff. It's going to make me kill myself like real fast. So rather than put myself through that torture, I decided to walk away from them and deal with it myself. That wasn't going to be good, but yeah, thank God for Mikaela's video that came across that day.
So what does your diet currently look like? Is keeping you in remission? Is keeping the psoriasis? What do you eat on a daily basis?
I basically, right now, I'm eating about 1.5 pounds of grass-fed beef in the form of either ground beef, tri-tips, flat meat, steaks. I basically have a budget for the month, and I found a good place that has good organic grass-fed meat, and I spend my budget on that for the month and fill my freezer, and that's it. Sometimes I eat twice a day, sometimes I eat once a day. Just depends on my schedule. Sometimes I make crispy meat chips in the dehydrator to keep me going, or if I have to travel, that's why I say when I travel.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. And it's amazing how just this simple diet is more powerful in many cases than all these expensive creams and gosh, these $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 a month biologic drugs they want you to inject the nitrogens.
That's the other part of those drugs. They're so expensive.
Yeah, they are. And the thing is, it's got to be like, you think it's frustrating because here you are with this condition you've had for the last 30 years, and medicine has not really worked, and there's a lot of money that goes into all this, and it's not get put into the stake. And there's got to be some point of frustration and maybe even anger at something. I mean, do you have any of that?
Oh boy, I had lots of anger in the beginning. When I realized I started to heal, the anger got even worse. The more I healed, the angrier I got. And I feel like they took 30 years of my life from me because they lied to me. And because there was a solution. They all said, this is incurable. You'll have this forever. There's no real cure. It's autoimmune, blah, blah, blah. Everything they told me was complete crap. And here I am cured. I don't know what to tell people. I'm living proof that they don't need to go through this. Jumped in a bunch of psoriasis groups on Facebook, and I got kicked out of every one of them for trying to share my interview with Homestead Howe and Carrie because they don't want the truth.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of these online communities are actually run by or supported by the industry. And yeah, when you start saying that, maybe you don't need to be on, because a lot of them have their just drug utilization support groups, how they titrate their drugs. What's the latest, greatest drug? Some of that's more on there. So when they come off with that, we say what you need, so I don't like to see that, because some people are bought into it. They're ideologically opposed. Because you had mentioned you did the raw vegetable thing. Well, did you attempt to do some sort of plant-based attempt at addressing this issue?
Yes. So I had all the different books on curing psoriasis through diet and this and that. And the stuff that they tell you to eat is everything that you shouldn't be eating. And the opposite, don't eat red meat. Basically, I was eating raw vegetables. I would eat a giant salad every day. And then at night, my demons would kick in, and I'd have a pint of Ben and Jerry's, or I'd have a half a pie or something crazy, like ridiculous. But my main source of food was raw vegetables.
Yeah, I guess maybe if you could somehow maintain that, but the problem is when starving all the time, eating demons and low caloric. And I know people talk about all the phytonutrients and all, but you can't access a lot of it because it's just it's not loaded and absorbed. In fact, anybody that has had, say, a colon really crapping in a bag, literally, however they swallow that vegetables out, comes out the other end. So literally, you can lose weight because it's not absorbing in nutrition, but that's not really a nourishing way to to feed yourself. So
I was bloated all the time.
yeah, that's really
Extremely bloated. Yeah, awful. I couldn't, and I didn't know what the bloat was, and I realized with all the vegetables, yeah, for sure.
And a lot of people will start to say this normal, like small and be bloated, or some bloated. I just reject it. This doesn't make sense. Like you would be comfortable, or quite honestly, in pain cases, and say that's normal. And there's no other organ system in our body. It's normal when your skin hurts. It's normal when the joints hurt. It's normal when you have a headache. It's normal when you have chest pain or lung pain. No, that's normal. We accept that. Accept that with our gut because it's so common. If they're so adapted in this crappy, wrong diet. So when we start eating food that doesn't actually cause digestive discomfort, it's shocking. So you said improvements in mental health, improvement obviously in skin and joint health. Were there any other things you lost weight? I mean, there's quite a few things in going on. Any things that have surprised you over time with regard to this dietary change?
Everyone says I look way younger now. My eyes seem so clear and bright and vivid. Like, I feel like they're clearer or something. I don't know what it is. I feel like my eyes are different. Like I said also before, I feel like I'm more connected to a higher existence at this point. I don't know what it is. I feel everything that I've been going after since I came out to the world a few weeks ago. Everything is just snowballing, and I have more podcasts lined up. I have my dream of doing a small ranch where people can come and stay, and I can get them off of the standard American diet, and I can break their addiction. They can just come. I don't care. They don't need to pay. That's my goal, is to have a place to help people at some point in the near future.
You mentioned addiction. Do you feel that you were at some point addicted to some of this food? Or is that ever an issue for you?
Absolutely addicted to sugar and dairy. Like, absolutely. When I was 16, 17, I got addicted to some cocaine, and sugar was easier to quit. Cocaine was easier to quit than sugar. I quit cocaine cold turkey overnight, never looked back at 17 years old. It took me weeks to get off of the sugar and deal with, oh man, it was hell. I was sick. I feel like sugar and other foods are definitely addictive. Absolutely. Especially if you have maybe previous addiction or addictive personality or whatever it may be.
Yeah. When you say sugar, do you feel that's maybe sugary foods, or just like eating tablespoons of peanut sugar? They're probably eating like ice cream and chocolates and cookies and sugary type foods. Is that more
processed fair? Sugary dessert type foods.
Yeah. It's like people say it's not the sugar, but really the ingredient. I don't know. Would you say, what about like artificially sweetening dessert foods which don't have sugar but they're also sweet? Would that also be a problem for you?
I never did artificial sweetener. I did as natural as possible, except for obviously the junk food. Yeah, I feel like processed foods now in this country are all just pure evil.
I think there's some real issues with that, and there's so many these artificial sweeteners and flavors and colors and thickeners and emulsifiers and stabilizers and preservatives, flavor enhancements. I think they're problematic in ways. I don't know exactly all of them. There's no reason. You don't have to eat them. There's no reason why to eat them. They're not required for sure. But you do better without it. How is your appetite now versus that? Well, was there a point where you were constantly hungry versus now maybe you're not maybe the most satiated perhaps?
Absolutely. I was hungry all the time. I thought about food all the time. I have no problem going 24 hours without eating now if I'm busy and I'm doing stuff. Fasting is not an issue for me. It doesn't bother me. I eat till I'm full, and then when I'm hungry again, I'll eat again. Basically it. Simple as that.
Simple. Yeah. It's funny that it's such a simple procedure. You eat meat to your full, stop them, but at least you're not hungry, and it seems to work out pretty well for many people. Not everybody, but for many people. You mentioned other addictions, drugs, alcohol, things like that. One thing I have noticed, and I don't know if some people, when they go to these rehab centers, maybe they come off the cocaine or the alcohol or whatever it is, and they substitute the junk food for the. And a lot of the rehab centers, quite honestly, they feed garbage. You go there, there's pizza boxes and Coca-Cola, and I was like, gosh, I'm with a kid. And my friend Chris Bell said when he was in rehab, it was like that. It was junk food. And he was smart enough to put himself on a better diet, and I think that was. And many people I see that go carnivore or low carb or ketogenic diets, but particularly with carnivore, notice that they often lose the desire to smoke cigarettes, to drink alcohol, to participate in some of these other drugs. Can you see that? Do you feel like you just don't have the desire for these other addictions now?
I don't know. I definitely don't have the food addiction anymore. And I had lost my addiction to drugs 30 years back, and it never really came back. But yeah, the food for sure. Because honestly, I drive past fast food places all day and smell it. Employees that I work with have food that I shouldn't be eating all around me constantly. And I'm like, oh, look at that. Yeah, I can't do it. It's still there in the back of your head. You still think about it. You still crave stuff from now and again. And I believe for me, like all the sweets and the junk food was feeding my depression. And that's what I would do at night to feed the depression and make me feel a little happy for the day.
So last year, Christmas holidays, the Thanksgiving, pumpkin pie, that doesn't go away. It's gonna happen this year again in 2024. It's gonna be Christmas and holiday. How do you feel going into this one? Because we're mid-July right now. Holiday junk food binge season starts in a few months. What's going to be different this year? How are you going to make sure that doesn't happen to you?
I tell you what, Doc.
Jumping the guns there. Okay, what's the relevance of that?
I'm feeling good. You know what's funny is I told myself, I don't know, like a few months ago, I was going to have a milkshake on 4th of July and celebrate. Didn't happen.
Why not? Why not? Why do you think it
didn't even cross my mind, honestly. Yeah, so I'm not worried. I feel like this year I'm stronger than ever, and the holidays aren't going to get me.
It's because we think about that. I deserve a treat, or I'm going to celebrate something, and the celebration is something to do that damages your body. It's like, well, is that a treat to damage myself, or that? Like I said, I don't know. Every day for me is a celebration. I'm eating steak every day. I'm just like, well, don't you have a cheat day? I'm like, literally every day for me is a cheat way. Some people look at regard like going out for a steak as a big treat, but I'm not having one day or close to it every day. And there's a point where you get through it, where you truly have conquered this addiction, because there's some people where, a little slip up results into an episode where they're 6 months in and now they've got all these issues coming back. And so, what about support around you? Do you have a supportive environment? And say, I don't know where you want to go, what's your family situation and what's your situation in general?
So, yeah, my mom, who is my biggest supporter, who is also on the carnivore journey herself, she lives in Costa Rica, so I never get to see her. But she's off her meds for the first time in 50 years. She's doing amazing. She was asked to be interviewed by you guys, but she doesn't want to be on camera. But she's doing great. She's my biggest supporter. My dad, who lives on the East Coast, who we've never had a good relationship or anything, never been close. He's actually like, all right, I'm trying to cut out the sugar. I'm trying to work out. I want to come out and see you. Like, what the hell? Crazy. Other than that, I really didn't have too much support going on. Although my boss has been amazing. I've been with this company for 10 years almost, and he's seen me at my worst and at my best. And yeah, they've always been real good to deal if I need some time off for pain or whatever. If I can't work a whole day, like they were always good for me like that. So definitely that support for job wise was amazing. Sure.
What kind of work do you do for that show?
I'm a professional photographer, a musician, and I also work in the legal cannabis industry. So I have 3 careers.
Okay. How hard is it for you to work with this diet? I think you find it challenging to eat work and get home. How does that work?
It was hard at first, especially in the beginning of January when I went strict lion and I had to be around everyone at lunchtime. Oh, man, that was tough. But it's not so bad anymore. I poke fun at everybody. I'm like, look at your poison you're eating. I think everybody's sick of that. If I see a giant cup of blue soda or something, I'm like, dude, come on, man. But no, I don't have any problems anymore. I don't think the temptation is going to get me anymore. I'm too focused on this amazing new body and this health. Yeah, I can't turn back.
I guess you said you lost 70 pounds, and you're no longer covered in this psoriatic rash, and I guess another thing. Focus. Your coworkers have probably noticed this, I would imagine. Is there any discussion around what did you do or how did you do it? And most walking down the youth, I can never quit the pizza or whatever they're talking about.
Oh yeah,
Did that ever come up?
they all say they can't quit whatever they're eating, and I tell them obviously you can do it. Look at me. Definitely, they're stoked for me, and there'll be clients that come in that haven't seen me since my change, and they're like, "Holy crap, dude! What in the hell? Last time I saw you, you're covered in blood, and you couldn't move, and you're." Yeah, and so I love getting to talk to people about it. Matter of fact, a few hours ago, I was at my warehouse and getting a delivery from someone, and he was just like awestruck because I've been sharing your interview with your last interview you did on YouTube with everybody. He was like, "This is amazing. I'm so happy for you." But yeah, everybody's stoked.
Yeah, it's how many when you like. I've been doing this for quite a while now. This is my 8th year doing Carnivore, talking about it pretty much since I started. Many more people now have done it, have experienced it, part of it. Do you find when you talk about that, some people say, "Yeah, I heard about that," or "I know some other dude that's on this," or is it still, "This is brand new to me"? What is your reaction to the people ask you and go, "Okay, I'm just eating meat"?
Yeah, I feel like nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about, and they think I'm crazy. A few people have heard about it that I know. But, and I'm changing minds though. There's a lot of people that are hitting me up for info, a lot of my friends. So yeah, I feel like the revolution is just now beginning with this. And look, you shared a picture of my legs on your Instagram.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my
People were saying that's not the same guy. It's not
right,
the
so
same
I had to
legs,
go
right?
on there and defend myself for hours because people were saying the other one was a female's legs and this and that. I'm like, look, here's my page. Come see me. My page went from, it was a brand new page. I just started it. Went from 300 followers to 3,000 followers within 2 days of you posting that. Between you and Carrie, I have not stopped emailing people back and responding to people that are asking for my help. And thank you guys for that because I love this. I love being able to help people. Like it's been one of the things I've always wanted to do. So to be able to change people's lives and give them advice, and then they come back to me in a couple of weeks and they're like, "Dude, this is awesome. I'm making progress. Like you're an inspiration," and it's been amazing.
Yeah, it's quite. There's a lot of satisfaction derived from when you are able to impact other people in a positive way. It's really it's like why I'm still here doing this and talking about this years into it because I get so much. I don't say pleasure, but I get so much fulfillment from. I feel like I'm making a real difference in the world. Something that's meaningful. You can always build more widgets or sell more, whatever. I just that's never really been something that I've been that motivated. It's not so much financial gain as it is as much a sincere desire to see improvement. Well, I'm old enough to the point where I'm 57, so you're 49. You get a point where it's like, okay, whatever, you had nice things, done nice things, and it's like, okay, what else is there to do? And I've got kids. Kids coming off and the world to their hope. It seems to, whatever it seems to say, there's something to that. What about, so I always try, when I remember, I try to ask this question. I have more off the line of you. I get it off, but what about downsides? Has there been any significant downsides to this diet for you? Any issues that you've had that are negatives?
Not a one. Honestly,
yeah, that's usually the answer I get too. It's funny. Well, what about this? What about this? Obviously, there's the social statement. People think you're weird. You get funny looks. If you were to literally like put your lunch out there and some big piece of meat, and you'd stick like a piece of broccoli next to your steak, no one would say a word. Or if you eat junk food, probably even better. You're like one of us. You're one of us. You're in the garbage. As soon as you start to stick yourself out there, and then I'm doing it for my health. First of all, that's grounds for suspicion. And then if you're doing it and you're not eating broccoli, well, then it's really what the heck? It's no dear. Because people are trained to think salad and lots of vegetables. I'm here for a healthy one, but in many cases, it may not be. So for some people, that's of interest. Do you find that this is have you gotten? Because I've obviously raised the ire of many of the people that have plant-based and think eating meat is the most worst thing in the world and killing all the animals and destroying the planet and all the nonsense that they like to push up. Has any of that made its way to your social media channels yet or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. The vegan movement's pretty rough on you out there. But The ancestral way of eating, this goes back millions of years. You can't deny it. I don't know what to tell people other than that. It works. I'm living proof. I was the walking dead, and now I'm the walking life. Yeah, eating 2 cows a year, I don't really feel too bad about that. And as far as all the animals that get killed to grow vegetables, I don't even get into that discussion. But yeah, so my 2 cows a year, I feel blessed that I'm able to have these. And I'm not worried about it.
And the other thing is expense. Is this diet cost prohibitive? Obviously, you're doing this, it can't be cost prohibitive. But do you find that it has been more expensive, less expensive, about the same as the fact that you bought MO?
Definitely less expensive because I'm not going out to eat. I'm not going into 7-Eleven to buy junk. I'm not buying a ton of stuff at the grocery store that buy a giant bag of spinach and 2 days later it's all wilted and messed up. You got to throw half it out. Yeah, no, this is the way. And like I said, I found a good store that has the meat that I get for a good price. And yeah, I'm happy with it. I think this is a cheaper way of eating for sure. And I mean, you spend less money and you get more health.
Yeah, and you said you're in Los Angeles, which, yeah, many people think it's a vegan haven. And in a way, there's probably more plant-based people in some of these more developed progressive cities in more ways. But even still, it's still like a tiny minority. It's still most people are eating meats and meat. I was in LA a couple weeks ago. I had great steak at a nice steakhouse in Santa Monica. Ridiculous expensive off because of that. But it's there. You certainly can get it. And so I imagine it's fairly easy to do. We grocery shop and make California has plenty of steak, plenty of meat. I think it's interesting. I'll be interviewing the proprietor of this restaurant. It was called, it was an vegan bistro, and now she switched to regenerative agriculture. And people are losing their mind because it was one of the more popular restaurants in LA. I don't know what happened to that. That time, more and more people are starting to wake up to the sort of deal.
The processed vegan burgers and crap, people are finally starting to realize that it is what it is. It's crap. Even McDonald's apparently getting rid of their vegan burger or whatever. But yeah, a lot of restaurants in LA that were strict vegan are adding meat. And a lot of vegans are pissed. But hey, it's on them.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. It says, when you were, at some point, you said you were trying to heal this psoriasis because you've been with you for 30 years. When you did go more plant-based, I don't know if you were going fully vegan or vegetarian, how did that impact your psoriasis? Was it a little better? Was it worse? Or what was it like?
Honestly, when I was like green juicing, and that's all I was doing for a while, didn't get any better. I definitely would have flare-ups as bad as ever on vegetables. Yeah, like I was basically vegetarian most of my life. Trust me, when I got around meat, though, boy, did I try and sneak it and grab it and eat it. I loved it. And what's funny about the vegetables, I think spinach put me on 2 ambulance rides for kidney stones. Yeah, I eat so much spinach.
It's one of the concerns is the oxalate-induced nephropathy or nephritis with high levels of spinach and stuff like that. And gosh, I over the years, I've tried a couple of those juice things and I just thought that I heard you figured I was like, God, these are awful things. Well, I guess some people really, I just pretend to like them.
I know people, like I know a man in Jamaica who grows 40 different types of fruits and vegetables on his yard, and he's eaten that raw for the last 40 years, and he looks amazing. Some people, but also he's got control of all of it as far as pesticides. He doesn't do anything like that, but I don't know. I feel like
it's interesting. You see a few people that make this out. Yeah, some people say I'm an outlier because I'm thriving on meat. I'm nearly 60. I'm athletically doing quite well, and people say, "Well, the outlier." Maybe there's something to that, but yeah, it's funny. I remember seeing there was this little Babylon funny series, and I had these two people moving from California to Texas and eating a couple and fish to a barbecue, and the husband sneaks off and they're giving him barbecue meat, and he's just stuffing. He's so exciting. Finally getting some action. I said, man, I can't do that. It's like, oh, gosh.
Yeah, that was me
stuff,
for sure.
Yeah,
I would sneak some bacon at a barbecue or, rib or whatever I can get my hand on.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because it's a lot of fun. You slap them up and you have too much for them. I mean, there's like, studies where like, well, it is a talent depending on mentions because they're like that. They're like, what till your brain takes back over. I need what I need.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you've lost, so you said you've been able to put on 10 pounds of muscle. You lost a bunch of body fat, I assume, and excess, and that's got to feel good. And so now, do you feel like it's easier to put on muscle now that you're eating all this high quality protein versus when you were eating? So I guess this is your mostly vegetarian. Is it easier now?
I absolutely. Yeah, I definitely. I'm doing the same workout that I did before, and I didn't see really any results back then. Actually, I do it more. I add a little more intensity to it and a little
change
just because I can. I feel better. But yeah, no, I don't know. I can't believe my body right now. I really can't. Like, it's amazing. I'm going to have a 6-pack probably by September.
Yeah. For someone who's had psoriatic arthritis, which is debilitating to many psoriatic arthritis, so yeah, it's just top. It's mostly familiar with psoriatic. What are we doing? How do your joints feel these days?
Way better. Way better. And honestly, in the last couple months, I'd noticed like a huge difference. Even a few months ago, I was still having more significant joint pain. But within the last few months, it just keeps getting better. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm becoming superhuman. I'm not sure what's happening, but I can't complain. I love it.
Yes, despite pushing just about 50, that's kind of interesting because I found this Carnivore Diet when I was 49. That's when I started. And now I'm 57, soon to be 58. And I'm stronger now than I was when I started. And I'm literally closer to 60 now than I was when I was just before I turned 50. So it's interesting to see what happens over the long term. Because it's all those things where we just expect. You just look around everybody and we see people go from 30 to 40 to 50 to 60. They tend to just steady decline, weaker, slower, fatter, less they do things. At least in my own, and I spend time, I'm certainly not going to say I don't go out there and train, but I've always said, I've never literally, that is who I've been on. There's never been, I'm not literally, in 45 years, I'm not taking more than a week off for lunch shift, which is, this is who I am. I'm not going to stop. Yeah, I'm not going to let something surreal to happen. But even despite that, I was declining in my 40s. I started to see where I hurt more, I ate more. I just didn't want to train as much because of that. So that's pretty cool.
Your workout,
your guilt. Yeah, like I said, it's like it easy after. If you feel good, why not? Why not keep doing it? It gets funny because I get people saying, "Why are you still exercising? You need to just, you don't need to stress your body." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I need it for my mental health, but I just think there's so much benefit that goes with this, and I'm avoiding injury, that's the only downside I see. It's running and can't train. When you go to the intensity train like handle, sort of low capacity, I can handle quite a bit. I think the problem is when you see if you're not able to run really fast when you're 50, what do you think you're going to be able to do in 70? You're not going to be able to probably move at all. I saw a little. It's funny. I'm really, really interested in plyometric style training or jumping while maintaining the springiness, which is, I think, the thing it's the hardest to hold on to. It's not so hard to be strong. It's not so hard to be a little bit the people running marathons and their language and stuff like that. But I don't see a lot of people that can jump well and sprint well older. And I saw a little lady, 95-year-old woman out there jumping pretty nicely, which I thought that's pretty cool. So I'm seeing that. So that's something that I think I'm going to aspire. Those are things that inspire me when I see these people that are much older than even I am and still get benefits. So that's why. What do you've recovered from your psoriasis? You're probably disillusioned by the healthcare system as I have been. Where do you see the next, if you can say, this is what I want my life to be in the next 5 years or so, what do you want?
Now that I have this new outlook on life, because before I thought I was going to be on disability in a wheelchair or dead. So those were my only two options before. So I had no plan for the future except be disabled. That was my plan because that's what was happening. So now, like I said before, I'm going to start a GoFundMe. I'm working on it now. I have picked out some properties in the Midwest that I think would work for a small ranch where I could bring my mom back into the country, have her doing equestrian therapy for people. I can bring some of my other friends who want to do this sort of homestead type living, get them in for fitness training and for other stuff that they do, and try and have a place where people who have my disease or diseases like it that they can't break and they want an alternative, they can come out to my ranch and I will help them heal. That's basically my new mission in life, is to have a place where people can come and stay and heal. And when they leave there, they will be a new person. They'll have a new outlook in life. They will feel better. They will look different. And I just want to change people's lives for the better.
Yeah, that's something that I often think about, is because sometimes it's so hard for some people to break habits, and sometimes the environment holds them back to a point where it's almost like one was kidnapped, not illegally, but sequester them away from all the other crap that just derails them, and have more control over the environment, where you can say, hey, this is what you got to eat, and this is we're gonna feed you. They're not gonna have any choice. And some people will say that's too restricted, but I think a lot of people would welcome that. It was like, man, just take me away and kidnap me and feed me and make me exercise and make me sleep well and do all the things that they need to be done, because so many people left to their own sort of devices in their own situation that struggle so intently. And like I said, I think obviously it's somewhat cost prohibitive in many ways. I mean, it takes money and resources to do. It might start out, it's like you get these people that have a resource and income and time to where they could actually step away. Like you might get some of the people, if they're relatively well off, they could say, hey, look, I can afford to take 3 months off and live on this ranch or whatever it might be, and then cure myself. And then hopefully that's enough, or maybe they need some kind of ongoing, less intense support that doesn't make sense. That's cool. I'm glad. I hope you succeed with that. I hope you can get you off the ground. I think those types of things would help a lot of people. When I go out in society and I see someone suffering, you go to the grocery store and look around and see someone I think they're just hopelessly disempowered. Probably the last 1 in 4, 1 in 5 people in the United States have some sort of mental health disorder. The number of people that have mental health is enormous. The RECE rates are in the 50% at this point. It's just that is not a society that can survive, in my view. And I think this that doing it has been so inept, and little else to work for. They're inept. They just can't figure this stuff out. Our healthcare system is just basically perversely incentivized. They're making money.
Right.
They say, well, they're the incentives to make money off to keep the suffering and sickness and all those economics here. We'll placate you. We'll placate your symptoms with a little expensive blood, and let's actually decline you. That's what a lot of people think it's the best there is. And people are like that. And it is frustrating and depressing. And you feel like, hey, that's all there is. So the only option I have is just keep taking these drugs. It's only making them a little bit better. And I slowly just keep pushing more. Good for you for thinking about that.
I want to give people a different option. And if they can only come for a week or a day or whatever it is, come out and learn something. Have a good day out in nature. Enjoy life for a day. Let me teach you something. Let me help something. I just feel like I'm on a mission now to spread awareness and help people. And that's
good. And there's many more people that I think have the same thoughts at this point. Well, a lot of people are quote unquote waking up to the perception. As you said, you felt like you've been lied to. In many ways, you probably have, or at least you've been given options that were not taking any way helpful, and not even. And I don't want to just paint all physicians as a bad guy. I think it's part of the system. I think it's even as when I was practicing as a big student, when I finally figured this stuff out, I had no support from my administration. In fact, I ended up losing my job over this and having to fight, and eventually just deciding that I'm going to do something different. And it was hard. It was really hard. And it's still hard. Still struggling to take what I spent, got so many years training to do this machine, making so much sacrifice. And you're like, I didn't find out.
Thank you for that.
I'm not ethically happy. And a lot of times it's just this. Practicing as a doctor, have to be patients to see there. It's just, in retrospect, it's just a really bad. And you're like, you feel good because a lot of people want to see you. You book a little flat button. A lot of people want to see me, but at the same time, what can I do? Not right. Yeah, you can prescribe a medicine or check a wound or something like that, but you can't really provide real health care, which is, I think, we sadly lack in this country. So, anyway, I'll tell you what, I appreciate you coming on. We're just about out of time. I gotta go get a workout in. So, it's the end of my day. I gotta go take care of myself. So I appreciate it. Hey,
Absolutely.
share your various social media handles if you have, since people can look following you. It's pretty. Your pictures you got are really impressive before and after. Wow, I can see where people say it's not even the same stuff.
Right.
It's not even the same person, but it's just amazing how different.
Yeah, you can come and see my pictures, my before and after pictures on my Instagram at carnivore_healing_ranch. And that's where I'm focusing all my time and effort at the moment. If you would like to see some of my photography, you can go to Instagram on Best Concept Photos and check out some of that. But yeah, main focus is trying to get
carnivore_healing_ranch.
you got
All
it.
right, thanks for listening. So,
That's the one.
Seaman, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your evening. I hope it's a nice evening down there in California, and keep up your work.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.